Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Game Testing Unlimited. My name is Wilfred. So today I'd like to take another look at Wolcen, especially after the sort of like a fix on their server. I'm back online finally. That's close to 1 week after launch, and they managed to iron out some of the issues, and so back online, leveling up my character. And I would like to just give you a thought about how my leveling experience is like. So now, for those of you who has been following my channel for years back in the Marvel Heroes days, first of all, a big thank you that you still tune in, and you know that I always keep it real. If I like some kind of game feature, I would praise them, and if I don't like, I'll keep it constructive on why I do not like certain things. And I hope you don't find this video too offensive. I know some of you are a big fan of Wolcen, and you may find it a little bit discouraging to see a video title like the one that I have here. But I always like to keep it real. All right. So now, I find that Wolcen is very superior in terms of the graphic, but I have always said the same thing. Graphic doesn't define the way that we enjoy the game. There are games whereby the graphic is very standard, like maybe Risk of Rain 2, also featured in my channel. Graphically, it's pretty standard, but the gameplay is really good. It's very smooth and very responsive, and in general, I've got a very good vibe playing that. So, some of the games there, the graphic is just like, it get by, like Green Dawn is alright, it get by. But the whole design of the passive and all is very, very fun and so on. So while graphic is important, it's never quite the deciding factor for me to enjoy playing a game. So for example, even Dragon Age Inquisition, I don't really enjoy the game, and although it's really, really pretty, but yeah, it is what it is. So now for Wolcen, the main complaint I have or feedback I have is that the maps are really big, but there's just not enough action within the map. The mobs are just far too less, I would say. I mean, if you play Diablo 3 or Path of Exile, the whole maps are full of mobs and there's a lot of action. But this game, it's just not enough action, and the trash mob pretty easy to down, but it's just still quite tedious to do power A, B, C, D, and E, and you keep repeating the same thing, knowing that, well, there's just no danger. You just do the same thing again and again, and the champions and the bosses, which is, I guess, where this game shine, it's just far too little opportunity to enjoy the aspect of the game. So that is my feedback as well. And in terms of skill set wise, I mean, like turret is my best example. The base skill on itself, the turret, is very, very dumb and stupid. So it doesn't auto target. It just like shoot at the direction that you launch them. And in order to make it awesome, you need to put that on your hotbar. Force yourself to use it until it get leveled up into something that is more fun, which is auto targeting. Now, just compare that with Diablo 3, the sentries for the Demon Hunter. It also have a basic power as you level up. You can put a sentry and all, but the sentry does its job, auto target and all. It doesn't feel stupid. And as you level up, you gain runes to make your sentry even more powerful, maybe a bit of crowd control and so on and so forth. But you feel that like it doesn't start with something that is artificially stupid, and then after that you feel progress just because there's some like a quality of life improvement, which to me, it is very fundamental. It should be auto targeting for a turret, but again, it is what it is, and it's just one of those like feedback I have with this game in terms of the some of these things that we feel there's a progress, but it's just artificial. I don't really feel that way. And also, I mean, in my last video, you saw my character was more like a mage kind of character, and the reason why is that I wanted to do a two-hand staff and see what happened. Now the challenge is that I always end up to have too much rage, and then and just not enough willpower to do things. So I'm going back to pistol and the and a bit of like hybrid between the rage and the willpower kind of combo, which bring me to the last point is that I also been privileged, and thanks to my friends as well, to be invited to Torchlight 3 Alpha. And for Torchlight 3, it also has the same similar mechanic, one of the classes, which I think is Dark Mage or something like that, which toggle between the dark and the light power, which very much like this game here, the willpower and the rage. But the good thing about it is that it wouldn't stop you from casting a dark spell or light spell. It just incentivizes you to toggle between the two because you gain a buff to it, which is very much in line with the Marvel Heroes kind of like design as well. If you recall how the game is like for you to have buff here and there without limiting you to do certain, like you can't do this power, you can't do that power. So yeah, I mean that is how it felt. By the way, this is like a Butcher. It is a carbon copy of the Diablo 3. The AOE on the ground is very much like the burning fire in the Butcher kind of set up the room itself, and it does have the chain to pull you in. It's very much like Butcher. The only thing that does not have is that this guy Deteron does not charge, and it's just that that's all. Besides that, it is the exact same carbon copy of the Butcher in Diablo 3. All right, so now this is the last clip that I've recorded in the video in game this evening. I hope you enjoy. Again, my apologies if you are offended by the title or my experience, but I hope that you understand where I come from, and I do have some constructive feedback for the game as well. So yeah. And well, I mean, after I down this boss, I do have some loot, and I think none of this could be useful for me, but it more just give me a chance to use other weapon as well, to just experiment other builds. So do drop me a comments below if you have some thoughts about the game, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. I always like to engage you all for a healthy discussion, and I'll see you again next time. Maybe Wolcen, maybe some other games, and goodbye.